Hi there, this is Leith Roberts from Grief Ain't No Joke, checking in, seeing how everyone is doing, your journey. I do apologize for being MIA, but as I stated, I have my own journey with grief as well, and I do struggle sometimes. However, as of late, it's I'm starting to feel kind of normal, like I felt before my daughter passed away. So I'm saying this to say that everyone's journey is different. And I also want to discuss how you can have a spouse or a significant other, and your grief is your grief, but it's different for them. Their journey is not the same as being your spouse or your significant other. For them, it's a hard journey. For the person that I am with, all kinds of things happen because they had never been through something like this before, and they had never dealt with. I know my hair is driving me crazy, y'all. It's the one thing about being able to see yourself on camera. You see the little quicks and turks, and I was just trying to make sure I look good for the camera. But anyway, their journey is rough as well because they don't know what to do with you. They're dealing with something they've never dealt with. They're dealing with the fact that, hey, your child is gone, they're no longer with you, and they don't know what to do with your grief any more than you do. And sometimes it can be negative things that happen in your relationship, and sometimes positive. I literally have heard people that end up in divorce that are married over the death of a child. And as unfortunate as it may be, it happens. And I want people that are going through the grief to understand that it's not always easy for you especially, but it's just as difficult for the person that you love, that's your significant other. They want to help you, but they don't know how to help you. You know, I'm everybody's with whoever they want to be with, but I'm men tend to want to fix things. And my guy couldn't fix it and was frustrated, didn't know what didn't had we're in a new relationship. I lose my daughter months after we start this relationship. He jumps in feet first to be our savior, but in the midst of trying to save us, he ends up almost drowning himself because it's a new relationship and he's dealing with my grief. He had not known my daughter for a long time, but he's also dealing with the fact that he knew my daughter as well. He's dealing with the fact that we've taken her sons in and her daughter for a brief period of time. That was stressful in itself, being a new couple and dealing with something of that nature. And it put a lot of stress and strain on our relationship. We're 2 years and 6 months in. We're still together, but it has not been easy because I still have to grieve. And sometimes I didn't want to hide my grief. Sometimes I didn't want to have to explain everything. Sometimes I didn't want to have to keep functioning. I had to take care of grandkids, you know, reach out and help with his mom sometimes. I'm in a new relationship. It was hard. There's times it's still hard. My grandchildren have now moved on and moved in with their fathers. And it's lighten the load, but now I don't get to see my grandchildren hardly at all. It is what it is. It's not going to be perfect. There is no manual. There is no book on what you should do and how to maneuver through the grief when you're with a spouse, when you're with a significant other, even with your own grandchildren that may be a result of that person passing away, right? So for me, it was probably a lot harder than I'm just one of those that what can I do to help? And I jumped in feet first, and I probably should have waited because some of the outcomes were not good because of the decisions I made. And at the time, like I said, had I have been a little bit more to myself, I probably would have done so many things differently. But I was so out of my mind when I lost my daughter. It was hard. I not one day stayed in bed. I not one day pulled the cover over my head. I just kept trudging through. And it was devastating for me in a lot of ways emotionally. And unfortunately, it took some hits. I took some hits. My grandkids took some hits. That had I been really to myself and in my right mind. And when I say in my right mind, at least trying to figure out how to deal with the loss of my daughter. I had never lost a daughter. Sounds weird, but it's the truth. I had never lost a daughter. So I didn't quite know what to do. But I want to tell you guys that give your significant other a little bit of grace. Yeah, you're the one that lost a child. It may not be their biological child, but give them some grace too, because you're going through hell, but they're going through it with you. And they don't always know what to say. They don't always know what to do, but they're doing their best, right? And sometimes we don't even acknowledge the fact that they're struggling dealing with us, like we're struggling dealing with the death of our daughter and the children that are left behind. And I wish there were some things I could have done differently, but like I said, woo, this one piece of hair is wearing me out, y'all. Stay. Had to put a little laughter in there. But after a while, I realized that this man did the best he could do. I know I was doing the best I could do, and sometimes that wasn't even enough because I dropped the ball in so many areas. But I had to give myself some grace. I was beating myself up so bad because I was trying to please everybody, trying to make sure I didn't do this, make sure I did that, when I was like dying on the inside. Give yourself some grace too, but don't forget about that significant other, because in different ways they're grieving too. It's just a quickie. Hope you're doing well. Next, I'd like to talk about when your child does not die of natural causes. Now, y'all have heard me say this a couple of times, but it has taken a lot for me to even get to this point to where I could speak to you all about this. Not going to be easy, but some of our kids did not pass away of natural causes, and mine was one of them. I had to let go of the shame. I was trying to protect her legacy. I was trying to protect her kids. But it wasn't at her fault. But yet and still, see what I'm talking about? This hair don't want to be right today, y'all. I'm trying to swoop it, dupe it, whatever I can do to get it to that's better, right? Let me know what you think. A little levity here and there. But my daughter left this earth not on her own accord, not by natural causes. But we'll talk about that on our next video. And it's coming soon. I'm trying to be better about being here, y'all. I know time ticks away so quick, and I'm like, I wanted to put something on today. So I hope you all are doing well. I hope you're being kind to yourself. I want you to know that this walk is not easy for any of us. And just because I'm smiling and laughing, there's just yesterday, I looked at my daughter's picture and the knot was in the back. I wanted to burst into tears, but I haven't bursted into tears in months. But as they say, it's like the ocean, it's ebb and flow. Even when you think you're done, you're not done. It's going to be a scent, a smell, a look, a laughter. There's going to be something that'll remind you of that child that's gone. But they're never forgotten. I talk about her like she's still here. Her nickname was Pooter. I'm sure you could think of why, because when she was a little girl, that's all she used to do when she ate. Those are the fun things that I think about my daughter. I miss her dearly, just like you miss yours. So, on the next one, it's going to be a little rough, but we're going to talk about it because I know some of y'all's kids may not have left here of their own accord as well. So, until we meet again, God bless you, God keep you, and love y'all to life. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.